Here at the 2008 National Manufacturing Week, we're always interested in what's going on in the Assembly Technology Expo. I'm on my way to the AGR automation booth. They're a Scottish company that makes an interesting number of automated high-speed assembly machines. We're going to talk to them about a fairly unique design that they've got that I think you'll enjoy seeing. Craig Dickson is the operations manager for AGR. We're going to start with him and let him talk about the machine. Craig, nice to see you.
Hi Joe, how are you doing?
Thanks for spending some time with us. Tell us a little bit about your company and the type of machines you make.
Joe, well, we're a specialist automation company based out of Arbroath in the northeast of Scotland. We've got 40 years specialist experience building high-speed automation, mainly for the medical markets and high-end manufacturers over Europe and now in the US.
Okay. Now you're selling pretty much globally then?
We are. We're selling into China, Russia, mainland Europe, the UK, and mainly the east coast of America.
Okay. Now here we've got SmartPod, which kind of looks like it could have taken off and landed from the Enterprise, but it's got a fairly unique modular design. I think we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Sure.
So why don't you take us through what SmartPod is all about?
Well, SmartPod was a concept that we designed from talking with our clients. We were under pressure from our clients to deliver machines faster, to market, more cost effective but more adaptable and flexible. So we took those questions from our clients, built it into an RFQ of what clients really want, and this was the result. We hit every key element these clients were looking for. The whole point was to make a machine that looked like it was designed for manufacture. It was cost effective to run from an energy consumption point of view and extremely quiet in running. And as you can probably hear, this machine already is running at less than 50 decibels, and we only use something like 13 amps in total to run the system.
So in a module of this size, how many individual tooling stations can you put in here?
This machine, the size we have here, is designed for 4-part assembly with up to 16 separate stations, with 4 of those being main assemblies.
Okay, so you could put a module in between this to expand it longer, and this is your basic module.
This is the basic small size, which is again for 4-part assembly, but we have manufactured, built and commissioned machines 6 meters long. And the only real element stopping us going longer is the ability to transport them safely and cost effectively.
So now here we got a 6-axis robot that would be doing typically a pick and place motion.
Typically where difficult manipulations required more than would be necessary in a 2-axis type pick and place unit. But the use of 6-axis robots in this module and more numbers of these robots make the system very flexible for future tool changes. It's very easy to change the programming in the 6-axis robot to achieve many different goals.
Good. Now we can move over here, we got a ball screw, but before we talk about this, you had mentioned earlier that your pallets are being controlled on linear drives, which that was really interesting. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. One of the main factors the clients were looking for was a base platform that wasn't fixed in any fixed particular pitch, because the pitch of movement is specific to a certain product.
Right.
So what we designed here is a unique transport system using 1-meter sections of linear motors which can carry multiple vehicles. So as you can see from the pallets moving, none of the pallets all move separately under a control system with addressing to particular stations.
So you've got one linear motor that's handling 4 at a time.
Sure.
And synchronizing the movement of those 4.
It's a synchronous linear
drive. You've got one here. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we can bring, what's unique about the software, we can transfer pallets between linear drives and maintain the positional accuracy.
So now how are you maintaining that positional accuracy?
We have magnetic encoder strips in the pallet itself, which we check on a configuration loop every loop during our transfer around the machine.
Now here I see we got a 2-axis. Here you're using now ball screws. Why ball screws here?
Well, this particular station is designed and manufactured by ourselves to fit neatly inside SmartPod. And it gives us an ability to have 800 millimeters in the x-axis and the y-axis. The reason for using the ball screw is to maintain a level of accuracy over a long period of time. So this is a very flexible two-axis pick and place unit and used for gluing, for laser cutting. It can be adapted to a number of different functions.
Right. Now, because this is enclosed, then in medical, then this can fit into a clean room application?
Absolutely, designed for. All the surfaces and all materials used in SmartPod are FDA approved. We've got the GRP, aluminium plate, stainless steel frame, no mild steel at all.
So it's inside a clean room and it's not going to bother the integrity of that clean room at all?
Absolutely not, and it's a self-contained atmosphere as well.
Now it looks like you're set up here to be able to do some vision work.
Sure. What we're doing here is we're illustrating the capabilities for different types of stations, and what we're finding in much more applications now, even in domestic automation, the requirement for good inspection during in-process inspection has increased.
Sure.
So what we're actually demonstrating is the ability to integrate any number of vision systems within the SmartPod and only take up a very small footprint.
And that could be the preference of the supplier sometimes?
Absolutely, there's a number of good vision systems out there. It can be a smart sensor, it could be a color sensor, it could be a probe station, but the system is designed to incorporate inline inspection.
All right, now there's a lot going on here. The control system is tying it all together. Let's come over and spend a little bit of time and talk about exactly how you're controlling an awful lot of functionality.
Joe, the target when we spoke to our clients was to give something new to the market, something that was different and had never been done. Now we achieved three main goals. The hardware is totally different, it looks different, it's reusable. Gone are the days you buy an expensive piece of automation and end up throwing it out in 5 or 6 years. This machine's designed to be reconfigured. To give it that reconfigurability, the control system has to be equally capable of change without a lot of PLC change. Now what the system's based on is a PC-based system, which is quite unique in automation on a whole machine. For some time, PC has been used to run vision systems and inspection, but it's very unusual to have a PC system run the whole machine, which we've achieved safely and accurately and made it compliant to 21 CFR Part 11.
So now you're giving instruction, but you've got the motion of the robot, for example. You've got a controller there that's taking its positional instruction and carrying it out through its own controller.
There's two ways we can control 6-axis robots. We have the adaptability in our control system to teach robot positions and write that program to the third-party robot controller. That means you only train your guy once how to program the robot from here. It's a very simple interface and very effective.
Now you also mentioned that there is a PLC option for this machine.
Not everyone's ready for the PC systems. For two main factors. There's a lot of PLC equipment out there in the market, and there's a lot of trained maintenance guys who look after that equipment. So we found that we have a huge interest, and we look at this as the future of automation, but we in some ways are a little bit ahead of our time. To cover that gap, we've designed and built a similar system using PLC-based system, which is fully PLC-based, doesn't have all the adaptability that the PC version does, but it's very close to it now.
And you said this is Ethernet based, so you can move your data pretty much wherever you want to.
We can link this into the client's Ethernet and send reports, faults to the central system for logging and even for product tracking. We can do batch traceability and send and accept batch numbers, write that into the logs so that you have logging of batches going through the system.
Craig, thanks very much.
Sure.
I appreciate your time. Appreciate learning about AGR automation.
Thank you.
That's it from here. If you're a machine builder or a system integrator and you'd like to be the focus of one of our video spotlights, get in touch with us. Email, phone, we'll see what we can do. We'll see you next time.